everybody. Good evening. Wow, this is different to get on here in the evening. I'm missing something. I'll be right back. I'm back. All right, welcome to Thursday Thoughts with Tameka. How are you doing? How was your day? I'd love to know. Let's see. So let's get started. I didn't get a chance to go to the mailbox. I'm sure there's nothing there, and that's perfectly fine. For me, my day was a little hectic. It started off super early. I had to get to the mechanic, drop off the car, and that's why I couldn't get on here at 8 a.m. But I'm starting to notice that it really doesn't make a big difference anyway. And let's see. Yoga news. My favorite part. I love yoga. Can you tell? In yoga news, I would like to talk about why. The why about yoga. And a lot of times you'll come up, well, if you've ever done any research on yoga or watched someone do yoga or talk about yoga, they say, oh yeah, you do this pose and it'll stretch your hamstrings. And I hear it a lot. And so I decided to look this up. Like, why is it so important to stretch the hamstrings? Like, why is this like the go-to thing? And did you know that the hamstrings are connected to bones and muscles in your back? And by stretching your hamstrings, you stretch your back. And by doing that, you're eliminating lower back pain. And there's something called sciatica. I'm definitely pronouncing it wrong. But that's why stretching the hamstrings is so important. I talked about it before, that forward fold where you just bend from the waist down. I love that pose. I would urge you to try it. It's definitely a hamstring stretcher. If you have any lower back pain, even if you don't have any lower back pain, I would say just try it. See how it makes you feel. Can't hurt. That is the yoga news. On to the topic of self-evaluation. When is the best time to self-evaluate? So I was sitting in a Toastmasters meeting and this question came up. How often do you self-evaluate? Some people said that they'll do it like maybe once or twice a week. Some people said that they will self-evaluate once the situation in question has escalated to a point where they're like, oh my gosh, you know what, I think I must have done something wrong. But like days and weeks would have passed before this self-evaluation happens, and I found that alarming, quite honestly. I self-evaluate a lot. Oh, and here comes my interruption. I knew this would happen. Watch the court, babes. This is the reason for the season. What's going on, Cairo? Say hi.
When you toast the phone, I think can we have it?
You want my phone?
Yeah.
Oh, what happened? Your iPad died?
Yeah. And after you have your phone, I have your phone.
So you can play games on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll go wait for you. When we're done with the phones, and so you can play the games on it.
Okay.
Okay. But and I'm gonna play that song again with Batman.
Okay. I'm gonna finish talking to the people. Can you close the door, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry about that. I knew that was going to happen. That's why I like to do these in the morning, but I'm sure you're perfectly fine. So I was saying that I found it alarming that some people actually don't self-evaluate more often. For single moms, I would suggest self-evaluating as soon as possible. Every minute. Okay, and that may be too much. You're probably like, come on, Tameka, who's got time to do that? Okay, so let's, baby steps, right? I would say at least twice a day. At least twice a day. Once in the morning and once at night. Ideally, if you could do a self-evaluation in the middle of the day, like while you're eating your lunch, just think, how am I feeling? How did I handle that situation? And so how am I feeling? Where is that feeling coming from? Just looking inside of yourself will be a tremendous help to you. Because I think a lot of times we go through the day and we might, be talking to someone, communicating with someone, and perhaps we're not listening. Perhaps we're over talking them. Perhaps we received a message from them in a way that they didn't want us to receive it, right? And I think that, I know that self-evaluation will help us get through the days like way smoother. What about with my son? This is a perfect example. I approached him about spelling. In the middle of the day, I didn't say it was learning time. I didn't give him any preface. I just kind of, look, spell these words for me. And he was stunned. He wasn't prepared. And he wasn't able to spell the word. And I got upset. And I had to self-evaluate. Tameka, what's going on here? You don't want to be upset, but you are. Why? Let's try to fix it. So I would encourage you to do that. How often do you self-evaluate now? Is it at the end of the day? At the end of the week? I even self-evaluate after conversations with people. I'm very, very sensitive. And I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think it's great. I feel like if I listen to myself, I can avoid having people in my atmosphere that are bringing me down, because I can feel. So for me, sometimes I'll have a conversation with someone and I'll leave the conversation, and then in that instant I'll say, you know what, Tameka, how did you handle that? How do you feel? And I may feel great, and I may have handled it well, but that self-evaluation does happen, because guess what? Sometimes I'm like, you know what? I did handle that well. I want to continue in that way. Or they did make me feel good. I want to spend more time with this person.
Now can we have the phone?
Oh, in just a few minutes. I'm almost done.
Okay.
Can you close the door, please?
Yeah. But I got a word. I'm eating my turkey, mac and cheese, and greens.
You are? Oh, thank you.
And I can leave it like that.
Sorry about that. So how often do you self-evaluate? And I would encourage you to do it more. And then pretty soon you realize that you're on autopilot. You're self-evaluating like a superwoman. You're holding on to the things that make you feel good, and you're letting go of things that don't make you feel good, and you're making adjustments, and you will feel much lighter. Being a single mom can definitely feel burdensome. Not only with the responsibilities that we have, but also from outside influences looking at us and telling us, or just the overall atmosphere around single mothers, is not positive. So we need to overcome that. And I think once we recognize that it exists and then look to overcome it, we will live better lives. And that's what it's all about. A friend of mine had gone through several deaths in his family, and he was absolutely heartbroken, and that was understandable. And he made a statement. He said, well, I pray for these people, but I guess God has a contract that no one can alter. And I said, well, that's one way to think about it. I believe that God is inside of every single one of us. So yes, God does have a contract. I have a contract on my life. You have a contract on your life because you have God inside of you. And it's up to us, the gods inside of us, to make decisions in our lives that help us live the way that we want to live. Now, it is good to pray for another person. I think it's good to feel that pain, that sadness when someone leaves. It's also good to pray for peace, to pray for strength, and to pray for more energy to surround you that will feed your life force, because at the end of the day, it's up to us how we're going to live, how we're going to feel, and what we're going to do. Just taking that responsibility. So that's the talk for tonight. I hope that you found something in there that was helpful or inspirational. Usually at the end we talk about what we're looking forward to. Well, it's the end of the night, so I'm looking forward to getting things prepared for tomorrow so that when I wake up in the morning, I'm not running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Everything is sort of lined up, and I wake up, do yoga, and just move through the day with ease. So I hope that you have a great evening and you enjoy dinner, and that, tomorrow when you wake up, everything happens with ease. Are we expecting any more snow? I'm not sure. I haven't been keeping up with the weather. I hope not. All right, well, that's it. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.